Brought to you by our daily diet, Taco Bell, and Diet Coke. Let's hit it, Jeremy. Jeremy and Ramona, welcome to our podcast. Come on in and we'll have a blast. Humaning.
Wow.
That's
Hey, guys.
Intro.
Hey, this is our first episode of our podcast, Humaning, brought to you by Jeremy, Ramona, special guest, Lee Rodriguez.
Hey, Lee.
Hi.
Lee is my neighbor and our best friend, and she just happened to be in the hood, so we thought, why not?
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for stopping by. So this is our first episode of Humaning. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. This episode, I guess we're just going to go over what this podcast is about. You know, silly goose time, being vulnerable, talking about what it means to be a human. So
Lay down the law, Jeremy.
it's what we're talking about. I'm just kidding. Dude, that's unreal.
Yeah, wait.
Bruh.
Those are so good.
Yeah, it took us like a whole day to pick out these sound effects.
Bruh.
I'm really stoked about them. I don't even remember which ones are which.
Me
Fun.
neither.
So good.
Too
I know,
much.
that one's aggressive.
Okay.
Coming in hot.
So let's start with who we are. Who are we? Let's introduce ourselves. Lee, why don't you start?
Hello, my name is Lee Rodriguez.
Hi, Lee.
Hello. I'm 21. I don't know if I have to give all that information
What's
about
your
myself.
social
your
security?
blood- what's your blood
What's
type?
your address?
Yeah, I am Ramona's neighbor, and we're all friends here. Me and Ramona used to live with each other, but now we don't.
It's complicated.
It's complicated
That
for
sounds
complicated
intense.
reasons, and yeah.
Jeremy?
My name is Jeremy Zargami.
Oh, also tell us what you do and what you aspire to do.
Oh,
Let's talk about dreams and goals, y'all.
Lee, go ahead.
I am an actor, and some of my goals and dreams is to grow as an actor. I also want to, I don't know if I actually want to do this, but it's like an idea that I have that has recently came about. I want to make clothing, sustainable clothing.
Ooh, that's important.
This is so bad.
I feel like
Okay.
that applied.
Yeah. All right,
Oh
Jeremy.
no. This one applies right here.
Do it!
I like that.
Just do it!
Yeah, that's
Then
good.
just do it.
We have no
listen to
idea.
Shia, he's the goat.
We don't know what these buttons do.
Okay, so my name's Jeremy Zargami. Do I have to say our age? 30 years old? I don't care. I think
I will not say
I
my
age like yeah, that's right. Like a fine wine. I am a personal trainer, so I do private personal training, and I own a jiu-jitsu academy. We're currently not open because of COVID. I also I have a YouTube channel that talks about stocks and investing and personal finance.
Do it! Just do it!
Exactly. You gotta just start, you know? And what else do I do? I'm just very entrepreneurial, and so I'm into all things investing and entrepreneurial stuff, so.
goals and dreams.
Goals and dreams. Oh, my goals and dreams. Oh, wow. This is deep. I want to have my own gym one day, both for training, like gym, like a regular gym, and jiu-jitsu. I want to build out my YouTube channel and just help people with finances and stuff. I feel like it's like such a important thing. It's like a lot of people don't know what to do when it comes to that. And it's like, I want to make it, the goal of it was like, I want to take someone who doesn't know anything and then like guide them along to get to like a place where they can be financially like secure and feel, you know, like
Yeah.
they know what they're doing. So, cause like people try to complicate it too much. And so I just want to
Yeah.
make it super basic, you know?
Every time my dad tries to talk to me about finances, I either want to fall asleep or I just don't know if he knows it well enough, but it comes off super complicated and it
Yeah.
gets in over my head and I don't
How
want to
did
do.
you learn about financing?
Is that supposed to happen?
I can go tap it.
Yeah, go
Let's
tap.
tap.
Tap
Hold
it,
on.
go tap it. Hold on. We'll be right back in the meantime. Oh, do we
What
have
the
to
heck?
tap it every time?
I don't know. We don't have to.
Why
change,
does it feel like so
we
slow
have to
motion?
change the setting on the like it has a like when you don't do anything on your computer, then it just like turns off. You have to like change that setting.
Okay,
So every-
doable.
Every 5 minutes, we're gonna have to do that.
All right, sounds good.
Until we change the settings. That's fine. But yeah, so I learned about investing through like my dad and my brother are super smart at investing type stuff, and then just reading books, doing courses.
Wow.
I got connected with some mentors through like mutual friends in college that knew way more about that stuff. And I just like, I'm not like an expert. I'm really fascinated by it. So I just continually learn about it. And I just guide people along on that journey of me like learning about it. I just want to like take people with me.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a hard-hitting question here. How much have you benefited from this knowledge that you've acquired about investing and finances? Like in what ways specifically financially has this knowledge helped you?
It's helped me a lot in a lot of different ways. I was able to buy my first investment property like 4 years ago or something like that. I bought a condo.
Teach me. Yeah, teach us.
And then, started building out my retirement accounts and it's just, regular brokerage accounts. Like I'm basically like, I don't know, I guess if you were to project out, like it would be, I feel very secure, like with the projected out like future of like where I'm going to be at.
That's so good.
And I just want to continually build on that. Just keep buying real estate. I think real estate is really exciting and fun. It's crazy right now. Like it's really hard to get into, but because everyone's trying to buy stuff up. But I really want to get more into it and buy more real estate and stuff. And but yeah, it's a journey. It's not like you ever get to a place where you're like, I'm good. Like you just continuously build, and you just get better habits of like how when money comes in, you like separate it out before doing anything like savings, investing account, like taxes. It depends how you do it, but yeah, it's a journey. There's never a point where you get to where you're like, I'm set, I'm good. Like you just keep building.
You want to keep growing financially.
Just little by little.
I feel like the financial world is such a man's world, like stereotypically, that I would like to get in on that and get good at it and learn how to build my own empire.
Yeah,
That's good.
There's this TikTok woman that I found, and she talks a lot on like investing and like a lot of different things, and like a lot of different things finance. So.
Love it. Here
That's
for
dope.
it.
Yeah, I like that. I like breaking that stereotype of like, oh, there's a guy. The guy does the investing. Like I don't like that.
No.
I think everyone should have a good knowledge of it and like be able to like at least make their own decisions with it. Not feel like, oh, whoever like I don't know. It just seems lame to be like the guy handles that. Like I don't know. It's more empowering if you're like I know what the hell I'm doing with my money.
Yeah.
You know. And so
when I want to buy a condo, I'm going to you.
Yeah.
Wait, Ramona, you bought a condo.
I did.
True.
Was that hard?
Yes. It was very stressful. I mean, mostly it was the paperwork that was stressful and needing
So
to
much
give
paperwork.
the realtor like all my information and bank statements and
That's so crazy because I was applying to an apartment and they needed all of that. They wanted my bank statements and my pay stubs, and I was like,
That's a lot.
what the hell? I'm
and
just
not
renting.
just that, like 3 years worth of
Oh my
that
God.
stuff,
Like
of
your
that
tax returns and
information.
stuff?
And you need to read through like a 100-page contract. And it was just like so, like that is so boring for me.
Yeah.
The contract is like this
Yeah.
thick.
I
and
would just
it's-
have
Yeah.
somebody read it for me.
I had some
that I
lady.
trust.
I had some lady like that had to. I forget what they're called, but she sat with me and she's like, "This page basically means this," and I would sign it. And I'm like, I hope she's telling me the right things. Like, she's like, this basically means this, because all like legal jargon that you wouldn't even understand even if you read it. And so I'm like, just you have to trust some random lady to be like, this is what this means, and sign your life to it, And so.
I have a lawyer now, so I'm just gonna ask them.
Snap.
Congratulations.
That's like
Wait. You have a lawyer? What should I do?
Wait, it paused.
Oh,
Bruh.
Bruh, you have a lawyer.
We gotta fix the screen setting. How do we do that? Let's just do that now.
You want to do it now?
Yeah, how do you do
let's
that?
just do it.
Okay, let's do it.
How do I do it?
In the meantime.
Settings. What do you think it's under?
Technical difficulties are a part of this. Thanks for coming along this journey of
Yeah, I am in settings. But
Of,
it says sound devices.
see, this is what humaning is all about. You know, it's not always going to be perfect. You know, you don't have to be perfect. Exactly. It's all process.
Oh, power and sleep.
Yeah. That's probably it. Power and sleep.
Oh, see, look.
Oh, yeah, it is 5 minutes. And then go
Put it on.
like
We're doing 5
we're gonna do a
hours.
5-hour podcast because that's when the screen will dim next. Perfect.
That's such a long time. It's never gonna.
Let's see.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Should I go ahead and introduce myself?
yes.
Hello, my name is Ramona Young. I've been told I have a voice of a middle school girl, which is fine. I'm really 47. I am a Sagittarius. For a day job, I am an actress. I've been acting full time now for about 5 years. Goals and dreams to travel the world, build my own production company as a writer, producer, actress, and eventually get into philanthropy and help the less fortunate.
That's dope.
Wow.
Sick.
I'm big into that.
Thanks.
Philanthropic.
This is gonna be a dumb question, but what's philanthropy?
Jeremy?
Comes from the Greek. Means to help. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I think philan means people, like to help people. Philanthropy.
Oh, maybe I was
like
right.
to help people or to service people. I'm pretty sure that's what that means.
Is that like a job? I can't even say it.
Philanthropist.
A philanthropist.
Is it a
is
job?
that like a career?
It could be a job, but mostly people do it as like community service, volunteering, joining some sort of program that helps other people.
Yeah. You join like team up with nonprofits.
Nonprofits.
The hat that I have on is actually a nonprofit. I think it's the one I have on.
Live, love.
No
Yeah.
one saw that, but that's okay.
It
No
said
one
live
saw
love.
that.
It's called. It says Live Love on it,
Yeah.
and it's a nonprofit that goes to that I went to Haiti with twice. So shout
cool.
out to Live Love.
See, that's philanthropy.
That's awesome.
So I went to Haiti and we built school for these orphan kids, and we got to spend time with them and hang out with them and play games, and it's a great time.
Aw.
Build up, like, we try to connect the community together more. So we like played soccer with them, and so that stuff's so fun. Like
That's
going
so
on
cool.
trips like that.
That's what me and Lee want to do.
We got to do that.
Want to travel the world and volunteer and help people.
My parents are super connected in Honduras. I've been there once. They've been there like a million times
Ooh.
with like philanthropy stuff, and like they built a school out there too, and houses and stuff like that. I've been to Mexico a few times. That's actually where I met my wife. Is in Mexico. We were building houses together. So
Yeah.
That's so.
This is
you're
Such
looking
a
for love, you know.
Such a nice story. Don't get people's hope up.
I'm just kidding.
Hopes up.
Don't
Love
go
is-
there.
Love is not guaranteed.
You got to go on the flavor of love with Flavor Flav to find love.
Flavor Flav.
Flavor.
Okay, why did we start this podcast, Jeremy?
We started this this idea came about because I train Ramona, and so when we train, we always just have these good deep talks and about life and just different things that's going on. And we were like, man, this would be a pretty good podcast if we just like recorded us talking during these sessions. And we're like, let's just do it. Let's start recording it. And so let's sit down. And so that's kind of where the idea came from, and we kind of just built on it. So
Yeah, we like to share really personal stories of things and events that has happened to us in the last week because we train once a week together, and we would like to share some of those stories with you guys, because sometimes they're funny and sometimes they're really serious and sometimes they just make you wonder.
Yeah, that's true. It's the whole gambit.
The whole gambit.
The whole gambit of the human experience.
So that's why we called it humaning, because it's just stories, personal stories about us being human and our experiences.
Such a good name.
Thanks,
Thanks.
man.
Yeah, Ramona came up with it. So props to you, Ramona.
Thanks, man. I gotta press a button.
Dude, that's unreal.
That was so good.
You just felt it.
I don't know what these buttons
We need
do.
to label them because, like, this one would be good for the philanthropy one.
There's people that are dying.
Yeah, that's a good one. Do you know who that is, Lee?
Yeah, that's Courtney, right?
Yes, it is.
So funny.
Tilt your mic down a little bit. There we go. There we go.
Hello?
There we go.
And also, we're going to bring in cool guests. One of our first guests is going to be Lee. Not for this episode, even though you're here, but we're going to bring you in again officially because Lee is very passionate about a particular subject, which is
The climate crisis.
climate crisis, y'all.
Very important crisis.
Yeah, why are you so passionate about it? Just quickly to dive into it.
I'm passionate because it affects everyone, and it's affecting everyone currently. I mean, in California, in Los Angeles, we have like a bunch of wildfires, and like, where does that come from? Like growing up, I didn't see a bunch of wildfires, and just everywhere. It's affecting everyone. It's affecting people everywhere, especially minorities, lower class people.
And why do you think it's affecting lower class people more so than middle, higher class people?
Well, because a lot of like, I just learned this. I just did like a leadership program, teaching me how to do like presentations. And so that's one thing that I learned is that it affects a lot of more BIPOC people because there was like, okay, for instance, in Memphis, there's like this Byhalia pipeline.
Okay.
And it's like, it affects their water. It affects, and it's like mainly, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but like it mainly affects people of lower income because like companies like that, like oil companies
Right.
and all that are placed by like lower people.
They're exploiting
Yeah.
their resources.
Yeah, and
their
a lot of people are
land.
dying from it.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, you don't see those companies in like rich neighborhoods.
Right.
And it's because they think that lower class people are people who show less like resistance to it, and it's really sad.
Yeah, and they have less resources to
gonna say
do
that.
something about it.
Yeah.
You know, what can they do about it if big, huge billion-dollar corporations come in and take over the
Yeah,
land?
but it's happened before.
Right.
It's happened before. They've been able to like shut down big businesses. So it's possible.
I have a story to share about that. One time I was shooting a short film in Lancaster, and there's like a lot of like farmland there, and we were just trying to find like a place that kind of looks like the wilderness for free, so we were going door to door on people's farmlands where they own like 50-acre land of farm or whatever. And one farmer in particular, he let us shoot in his backyard, basically. He was just like, oh, yeah, companies have come and they've tried to buy our land. And we say no, so they will come in and poison our waters to, like, get rid of us.
It's just crazy because they
That's
just
wild.
don't care about people. Like, they just care about money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have like their agenda or their goal, and they're just like, whatever we have to do that. Like,
Yeah.
like this person's getting in the way of us building a pipeline through it, so we need to like figure out how to get them out of here.
Yeah, but it's so interesting because a lot of big companies are starting to want to use like renewable energy and be more sustainable, but it's because people are like speaking against them and being like, we're no longer going to buy your product if you don't fix the way that you make the product, which is really cool. Like H&M is pretty much doing that, and they're like, they have such a huge carbon footprint in like the fashion industry.
Yeah.
And so
Do you think that they're doing some good stuff but still doing the bad stuff just to like
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I feel like
I feel like there's always a give and take. Like, you can't be a huge company
That's true.
all over the world and be good for the environment completely.
completely
Yeah,
good.
but the thing is, then they can't call themselves like a sustainable company because if they're being sustainable in some practices and not in the other, it's just like,
Yeah.
it's not even, you're not really doing anything.
Well, we'll have to bring you in again and ask you more hard-hitting questions. I like to ask questions that make people feel very uncomfortable, so be prepared for
I
that.
feel like I'm always uncomfortable.
That's good. You're
I'm
ready
comfortable
then.
with being uncomfortable.
That's so important.
That's the best part. I think living life is about how are you able to be comfortable in an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, you grow from those situations.
Because if you don't, you die.
Yeah,
True.
immediately.
Do it! Just do it!
It's true. If you're not growing, you're dying.
Oh, there's Saturn. She's also our special guest.
guest.
We decided to set up our podcast here because we know that you can see Saturn in the background every once in a while. That's why we set it up here.
Yeah, we were told we were gonna do it over there, and we set everything up for it. And then one day we saw Saturn, and we're like, "But we want Saturn in it."
Jeremy wanted Saturn.
That's true.
pop up.
Be
It
real.
was me. You're welcome. You're welcome, Saturn. Look how cute she is, though.
All right.
What we got?
Did anyone hear any funny current events that are entertaining, interesting, worth sharing? Or you can either share a current event or answer a difficult personal question or share a secret.
Holy cow! Wow. she just like
We're just diving into
went there.
secret. You could share a secret or a fun event that happened recently, either in the world or in your life. Jeremy, why don't you start this time?
Dude, that's unreal. dude,
I was like the dude
that's
part.
unreal.
Dude.
Yeah, that's my favorite button. Dude, I don't know. Do you want to ask me a question?
Should I ask? Okay, Lee, we should think of, you and I should both think of a very personal question
Not too personal.
to ask Jeremy.
I'll think of a current event.
Yeah, think of a current event while you can.
Do you have anything in mind? No, for yourself, like current event
No.
or funny thing.
No,
You don't.
nothing.
That's why you put me on the
Nothing.
spot. You do.
Okay, let's go, Lee.
Well, it's nothing that's happened to me. It's a TikTok. I don't know if y'all are on TikTok,
Yeah.
but I've been seeing this TikTok a lot lately, and I'm not sure how to feel about it. You know that Ayo girl?
Yeah.
That was really good.
That really?
Yeah.
Ayo. Wait, I forgot how
Is
it
it
goes.
the AO mixed girl check or the
Well, she
AO?
does, she does like a lot
She
of
does a
videos.
bunch
She's
of
like,
different ones.
Ayo, if someone send this to you or something like that, we need to get the gang back together. something like that. I have to find it.
haven't
But like,
seen that.
people have been like making fun of that video. Because she also says in the video, she's all, what is it? Facts, no print. Or what is it? What is those different sayings? Facts, no print. Copy, no paste. And then people are like making fun of it. They're like, booty, no hole. They're like, tree, no branch. And so they're like making fun of her, and like a bunch of different like celebrities have like copied her video, like Doja Cat
Yeah.
and like a lot of people. And like she's so pressed about it and so mad. But at the same time, I'm like, is it kind of like bullying that everybody's like making fun of her video?
Is making joke of something the same thing as bullying?
Because she's taking it as like everybody's like bullying her, but like everybody is collectively like laughing at it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm not sure how to feel about it. I feel a little bad for her because to her, it's like not funny.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
It's because it's like it's a parody. It should be funny, but
Yeah,
I
it's a
understand
parody.
that she's just like, hey, what the heck, guys?
I think she's taking it as an attack. But if I were in her position, I don't think I would be too mad about it.
I wouldn't be mad about it either. I would kind of be flattered that people are having a good time out of
funny.
something that I've created.
If people expand on like your lingo or something you said, it's like definitely flattering. It means that
Yeah.
they did like it, and then they're just adding to it, even though they're kind of making fun of it.
I think bullying would be like if people talk down to her about it and like put her down about it, like, oh, you shouldn't do that or that sucked. Like that'd be bullying. That would make me feel bad personally.
Yeah, but she went on Instagram Live with the guy who first did it, and like he was like, "Hey, yeah, the person who sent you this wants you to know it's not that fucking serious."
Yeah.
And like she got so mad, and I was like,
It's true. It's not that serious.
I feel bad for her, but at the same time, it's not that serious.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's something that I've kind of been noticing a lot on my TikTok.
Speaking of that, I guess I'll share my personal story. Recently, I've had a falling out with a friend because of bullying. And that's really crazy because we've been friends for years. And she's always acted that way, like in a jokey way, kind of like the TikTok thing, I guess, jokey, but mean about it. It's kind of like, you look ugly, you know, but in like a jokey way. And so finally, I decided internally to let that go, which is hard when you've built so many years of hard work and trust and friendship with someone.
So sad.
You just have to let that shit go.
Yeah, that is rough. I had the similar thing.
Yeah.
I was telling you about. It's,
Yeah.
It's just like someone that it's like I have this friend that I've known forever, and it's like
Such a crazy story, Lee.
What?
Tell us, Jeremy. Tell
so
us.
I've known him since college. We were roommates and played football together and everything. And I've always like stood up for him, and almost everyone around me, I should have taken this as a red flag, but they were always just like, he's so like, they would always trash on him. Like we don't like him. He's lame. He's a jerk. He's a douche. And I'm like, no, he means well. Like I know he says things sometimes, but whatever. And like, I would always like put my reputation on the line for him and just like stick up for him. He was one of my groomsmen, and I'm like, and so recently, it's rough. So you know that meme of that big black dude who's naked sitting on the edge of the bed? Have you seen?
Lee's her face
No.
is just blank.
I don't know if we can pull it up, but he's just like this big black dude, and he's sitting at the edge of a bed, and he just has the biggest wiener ever. And it was going around, like people would send it to each other as a joke. Like you'd be like, oh, look at all these COVID cases, like click this link, and you click on it, and it's just this big black dude like sitting at the edge of a bed, just like hammer, you know? And you're like, oh gosh. And so I had a group of dude, that's unreal. I had a group of college buddies. We'd all like send versions of that meme to each other, and so that's like this lighthearted group. And was it last week or 2 weeks ago when Derek Chauvin got
Found guilty. Yeah.
Someone sent me a meme of Derek Chauvin, and then that guy right behind him,
Like a mugshot
of
Derek.
and that guy behind him as like that's like his new cellmate, kind of a joke.
Oh my
and
God.
I was like, this is kind of dark. It's a dark meme for sure, but I sent it to the group like, oh, maybe they'll think it's funny because we've been sending countless memes to this
Versions
group.
of this meme in
like,
particular.
like Michael Jordan doing that the dunk from the free throw line, like, but with the bottom half is like that guy.
Yeah.
And so like just stuff like that, like versions. So no one laughed at all. Someone after like 12 hours put like damn ... And like I was like, okay, maybe someone will think it's funny eventually. After like 24 hours, no one laughed at it or responded at all, and I was like, oh crap. And I put like too soon ? With like a sweat face emoji, and then someone laughed at that. But this dude who I always stick up for,
His groomsman,
groomsman.
aka old best friend.
he was like, oh yeah, like how, oh that'll show him, like how dare he do what his job and what he was trained for and restrain a druggy, like past like convicted person, like blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like I was so red hot, like furious.
Okay, what baffles me is how can he do this knowing your wife is black,
Right.
being a groomsman at your wedding? Like, how can he defend this cop that blatantly murdered and was found guilty by the law
Yeah.
of murdering this black man?
Yeah. It makes me so hot. I was so heated. And luckily, I mean, thank God, it happened right before my therapy session with my session with my therapist. So I was able to just vent it out right away, which felt really good. But it's so hot. And he was just like, I was like, SMH, dude, like, way to like stick up for a murderer, you know, like it just didn't make any sense. And then he was like, oh, the mob is taking over, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, like we're done, you know, like
crazy.
We're not friends anymore.
The mob is taking over. What does that mean?
Like the mob's taking over the courts. Like the people are like, basically, we're kind of like, if you don't find him guilty, we're gonna riot. And so that's what he's saying. It's
That's just so crazy to me that there are people who are actually on that murderer's side.
Surprisingly, a lot of people.
That's just crazy.
Not even a small
but
fraction.
the fact that they're like, well, he was on drugs, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it wouldn't have mattered because
who was on drugs?
That George Floyd was on drugs, and that's why he died. But even if he was, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
And autopsy said otherwise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just trying to say, because, he was a certain way, that they're basically saying that he deserved it, which is messed up.
It's
so it's like, no, nobody deserves to die like that.
My question for you, Jeremy, is now that you've decided to draw that line and no longer be his friend, are you, because he was such a close friend to you, because I'm deciding this and having trouble deciphering, are you going to have a talk with him and be like, yo, this is how I'm feeling, I don't think we can be friends? Are you going to say anything, or are you just going to do the silent phase out?
I've been torn with that, you know. I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, I'm trying to like work through it more before I do come to that point, because I feel like if I were to go and talk to him now, I would just get way too hot, and it would just be like I wouldn't go at it the right way. And so I want to like keep working through my frustrations with it, like with my therapist or with talking to people, and then I can go about like if I do address him, it'll be like very like objective, and I can take some of the like that, I don't know, just the pain out of it that it caused me, you know? And so but at the same time let him know that it did cause me a lot of pain, and because of that,
not just pain by what he's done, but pain by the history that you've had together.
Why did he think that meme was referring in that way?
I don't know. I think he's just, because it was basically saying, the meme was kind of like haha, like to Derek Chauvin, like that, like you're gonna get what you deserve, kind of the thing, sort of, you know, in a way. And it's just like he's sticking up for him. He took it as like, oh, like,
yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
why he took it that way.
But I think that I will. I don't know.
It's tough. I've literally Googled how to no longer be friends with someone.
Especially someone so close. It's not like someone that was like you can just drift away from, and
they will notice if you just ignore. Like, he's in all your group chats. He was your groomsman. You've known him for years.
We have so many mutual friends,
like,
so we might.
Yeah.
I've always thought about that too. Like, what's the best way to kind of end a really close friendship? I've actually had that happen to me, and I don't know if I exactly did it the right way.
What'd you do?
We will learn. We'll learn from you.
Do it! Just do it!
Sorry.
Okay, Shayla. Okay. I'm trying to remember. I basically, at first, I kind of went the approach of like, oh, I'm just not going to talk to them as much. But then they would constantly message me.
Especially if you just MIA.
Yeah.
That makes it way harder.
Like, you know, I had to like give them an answer.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, I just don't like confrontation at all. And I didn't want to have the conversation for whatever reason at the time. And so I always just was like, no, everything's fine. But then eventually I was like, okay, it's not fine. And then we stopped talking.
Did you tell her or him that it was not fine? Or did you just...
Eventually I did. Eventually I told them, I was like, you know what, I just don't... Actually, I don't even know. I don't remember. There was a lot of conversations because we were so close. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of conversations as to like, oh, maybe, you know, we can work through it, or maybe, you know, let's hang out. And we kept trying. But then it got to a point where it just ended up, we just didn't really hang out as much because we tried and we didn't, and there was nothing wrong with the friendship. We just were not compatible anymore. And I think that was like so hard for me because like they were like my bestest friend. And so, I mean, now we're kind of like, it's like having a new friend because we're like both in completely different spaces. And so we're just, we're just people that know each other. And we're just not best friends. Yeah. We're not best friends, but we're just, we're just friends. And
that's good.
Yeah,
I mean, just because you decide that you can't be best friends with someone after a little bit of time, it doesn't mean that you guys have to hate each other and be enemies.
Yeah, and I think that's what back then I was like, oh, okay, we're never going to talk again. Like, it's done. But it just didn't end up happening that way. But I think I would have wished that I would have been more upfront about it and wish I would have just, been clear as to how I felt, and they would have, gotten it rather than me being like, no, everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's like, what would feel better for you? Like, what would make, like, I guess you have to go through that of like, would it make you feel better to, like, if I were to confront this person and be like, hey man, like, the stuff you're saying is, I'm taking it pretty personally, and it's really affecting me and my wife, and we, like, if we're gonna be friends, like, I can't really have, like, you be saying this stuff, and it's hard too, because that's what he thinks and feels too. So it's not like, I guess you can, I don't even know what the words I would say, but would it make me feel better to let him know how much he's been hurting me without even knowing? Would that make me, like, be able to, like relax internally? Because he's saying this stuff and not even knowing that it's causing me this tension. I'm holding on to this tension.
I think,
and that's not healthy.
I think as hard and difficult as it may sound, you have to always stick up for yourself. And you always have to give your inner integrity and your inner soul a voice.
Yeah.
Whatever form it may be. Maybe it's in a form of a letter, an email, a phone call, whatever feels right to you, but you can't just ignore it and put it to the side and act like it never happened.
Yeah, I agree.
You gotta, like, stick up for your inner child, right? And they say,
Yes.
like, if you saw your younger self getting hurt or bullied, you wouldn't just be like, okay, it's fine. Like, just forget about it, you know?
no,
Just
so
like,
sad.
you're okay. You'd be like, no, you go to the person that was hurting your inner child, your younger self's feelings, and be like, hey, you heard their feelings, like, and so, like, you kind of have to nurture yourself in that way, and which is tough. It's just easy to say, but it's harder to do,
But you got to do it. And once you do it, you understand that you've finally elevated and have grown to the next stage where you deserve to be. I don't think you can evolve and move on to becoming who you are meant to be unless you pay attention to yourself and do yourself justice to move on to that next chapter. You have to earn that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about your falling out?
I think what I'm going to do about my falling out, I've been very conflicted. I wanted to just, like, unfollow this person and see what happens and see if this person notices, but I think that's catty.
Yeah, it'll cause more drama.
Yeah, so I think eventually, once I've emotionally settled down, like Jeremy over here, I think I'm going to write her a letter. And then in the letter, I'll say, hey, if you want to meet in person or call me, I'm open to that, but if this person doesn't, then a letter will be our goodbye, and I'd be okay with that.
Dang.
This
Yeah.
has just sparked a question in me.
Yeah.
What is the worst way you've broken up with someone or have been broken up with?
Text. Shooting season 1 of Never Have I Ever in my trailer, getting a text from my long-distance boyfriend of almost a year saying, hey, this isn't going to work. Tried calling him a million times right after he sent that text. He didn't pick up. Cried in my trailer for hours. And then went and shot our next scene.
I remember. You
Holy
were
crap.
so sad that day.
Yeah. It was our scene where I was sitting on the couch in our armchair, and then we were contemplating whether or not my mom was in a Mexican restaurant or really like on a cruise. So it kind of like emotionally helped my acting, which I'm not gonna lie, kind of helped. But it was still shitty nonetheless. Your turn.
So shitty.
Someone else go, please.
I had, this is like less it's less serious, but it still hurt. It was in middle school. I was dating this girl. Basically, for 7th and 8th grade, I was dating this girl. In like middle school dating, it's like
That's a long time.
It's a long time in
You guys
middle
are
school.
practically married.
I know exactly. So but it's funny because in middle school, it's like you hold hands, and it was like very innocent, and like we would exchange gifts on like Christmas and stuff like that. Like it was just so like innocent. But I remember she broke up with me like by telling her friend to tell me.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh.
Typical middle
It was so rough.
Frickin'
because
middle
like
school.
we had this cute little innocent dating whatever. We would hang out and talk, and like the most exciting thing was like that we held hands. That was like it was really something.
That's the good stuff.
And we went to the movies one time, and we held hands the whole time, and it was fantastic.
That's the good stuff. Where your pinkies barely touch for the first time. Like, you don't know if you're going to hold hands, but you guys both want to, and that tension's just building. So romantic.
And then for her to do me dirty like that and just tell her friend to tell me, I was like,
she just couldn't handle the heat, man.
it was hard. It was
Shaking
hard.
my head.
All right, Lee, your turn.
Okay, so I'm an impulsive breaker-upper.
Yes.
It's a very toxic trait I have.
Yeah.
Luckily, my current partner is aware of that trait and is very understanding and knows when I impulsively do that, it's not because I want to. It's because I'm just upset.
You just want the attention and you want the comfort of stuff. Yeah.
So I've done that a lot throughout the relationships I've had. Most of my relationships have ended because I impulsively broke up with them. And then after, I'd regret it so bad, and I'd like try to get them back, and then they'd be like, no, I'm good. And that's the worst. Don't ever impulsively break up with anyone. I feel like now I'm so aware of that.
Bruh.
And so I think I've broken up a lot over text. I've broken up a lot over text. It's just the easiest way to do it. So I've broken up a lot over text. What else?
Bruh.
What else?
That's how they felt when you texted them.
I remember this other time I told it I was in high school and I forgot why they were upsetting me so much, but I said, fuck you. And then I walked away from them.
Oh,
and that was how you broke up with them?
Yeah, no, and I didn't talk to them. So that was pretty much me breaking up with them.
Oh my gosh,
That's
you're
intense.
a savage.
No, I'm
You
so
caused a scene.
I'm so dramatic. Like I want them. Okay, this is how it goes in my head.
You know what's weird?
What?
I've never seen you be dramatic in all the time that I've known you / lived with you. Like I
Really?
don't know this side of you, and it scares me.
Ooh.
I'm really only this way with like the people that I'm with.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like in a relationship with it. It's like a really different side of me. I'm very like clingy and very needy, and I need a lot of attention. I'm a lot of work. And so like when I don't get what I this is so bad. When I don't get that, I get very upset. And like if it happens after a while and I feel like I'm not getting attention and I've expressed that and I still don't get it, or if I feel like there's something lacking, then I'm like, okay, yeah, I have to break up with them. Like that's like that would be like my go-to. But now I feel like I've matured a lot more. Yeah. And I like to talk things out and resolve problems, but I definitely have done majority of the breakups and through text.
Wow, okay. Oof. I mean, I think that's a natural thing that people have to learn as they experience more relationships. It's how to get what you want without, like, really putting everything on the line. Like, there's ways to communicate.
I'm an extremist, that's why.
Yeah.
I just do things where it's like, okay, this is it. This is the end. I feel so bad about this. That means this relationship has to be over.
Yeah.
And so that was me just not really knowing how to deal with my feelings. And I just want to get away from them.
But maybe now you found someone worth working on with. Maybe those other people.
They weren't worth it.
Just wasn't worth it.
Yeah, it's a process to like, instead of being so like black and white, to be able to like learn how to manage emotions. You're like, okay, I'm feeling this. And then like trying to work within yourself about it instead of just being, I don't know, but obviously some things it's like black and white, like on or off, like
and to every person that's different. Some people are okay with
circumstances,
cheating, some people are not okay with cheating, some people are okay with children, some people are not okay, like it just depends.
Have you ever been cheated on?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have.
There was this
been through the ringer.
There was a rumor that an ex I broke up with, and high school cheated on me, but I think she just made it up to make it seem better. Like, I think she was she was bitter. And so she was just like, oh, whatever. I cheated. I'm like, how is that better? Like, you look like a terrible person now.
Yeah, right?
So they're like, oh, I heard so-and-so like cheated on you. That's why you guys broke up. I was like, what? That's the first time I heard that. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I was just over it. And they're like, oh, okay. So
at the end of our podcast, which we're coming up to because it's 45 minutes already, we've had a good time.
Wow.
Really?
Time flew by.
Jeez.
We have to end on a good joke or a pun or an inspirational quote because we want to leave you smiling. So,
I got one.
okay.
If it don't apply, let it fly. By Flavor Flav.
Oh, let's go.
Okay, that's it. See ya,
fire.
folks. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks
Bye.
for joining us.
Thanks, Lee.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.
Should we end this?
Yeah.